Okay, guys, I believe we're ready to start. Um, so I know actually like Paul wanted to speak first today. So Paul, feel free to jump on that train of our webinar.
Well, thank you. Can we go ahead and start?
Yeah.
Okay, screen ready. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me jump in then. Okay, then great. So now, first of all, my apologies. I'm a bit sick, so my voice goes a bit gruff. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to kind of sound better. But the main thing is, a lot of people on TikTok Shop. You should be using TikTok Shop to boost your Amazon sales through traffic to Amazon listings and creating content for Amazon and building your own affiliate army. There's three big things you can use TikTok Shop for to actually help your sales on Amazon. So let's get started. Now, first thing I want everyone to do, please tattoo this on your forehead. It's so important. Every time you talk to an affiliate or a UGC influencer or anyone for that matter, always get them to say your brand name and keyword in the video. So, for example, let's say you sell kitchen knives and your brand name is Top Chef. They will say, go buy it now on Amazon. Just type in Top Chef kitchen knives. The reason this works out well is because users may never click on your video, but they will go search on Amazon by default. So if they see 10 videos about your product, they still may not click, but they will go to Amazon and search it out. And I figured this out when we did this with a whole bunch of brands. And we see the search increase on Amazon, but no actual sales. It's because people were seeing the video on TikTok and going searching on Amazon. Because the main thing is TikTok users, I'm gonna get a trouble for this, but it's true. TikTok users are pretty much like lemmings. If they see one video showing a product, they will forget about it. But if they see many videos about the same product, they will likely view it on Amazon to see what all the fuss is about. And that's the main thing. So now that you do that, the great thing about that, if you know traffic is going to come from TikTok and search for your brand by doing Top Chef Kitchen Knives, then you would set up your PPC defensive campaigns for your brand name in your PPC ads. So every time someone types in your brand name with a keyword, you'll be first of the search results there. That's a really good result because now you're the top of the results each and every single time. And what's nice about this is you can retarget the TikTok users. So if they see one video, then retarget them for videos two, then three, then four, then five, and so on and so forth. What's great about that is it looks like your product is going viral in their eyes because that's all over their feed. But actually, you're just retargeting them throughout the campaign. So this works really well. So make sure to always include your brand name and keyword in all of your videos created for TikTok. If you take one thing away, take that away because that will increase your brand and search. For example, if you look here, there are two screenshots there, before ads and after ads. You can see before ads, the search frequency rank, and the lower the better, is 2.3 million. Whereas after the ads were run, it dropped to 1 million and it had an extra keyword there for 1.7 million. So that works out really well. And this is because people are coming from TikTok and searching the product up on Amazon. So it directly affects your search volume metrics. So please go ahead and do that. You always need to use the brand name and the keyword, but always use deep links. The problem with TikTok is that it's always on your phone. And when you open a link on your phone, it will open up the link on the mobile browser, which is great, but I want it to open up into the Amazon app. And that's what deep links do. When you hit a deep link, it will open up the Amazon app. And this is great. But the problem is Most links, most like native, naked links, when you hit them, it will open up Amazon on your mobile browser, and then you need to log into Amazon on your mobile browser. And by the time you log in, you've already lost the original search criteria. That's why deep links are best, because as soon as they hit a deep link, it will open up the app on their platform. Sorry, on their, or open up the app on their phone. So these are the only tools I use that do deep links, Genius Link and URL Genius. Out of those, you take your Amazon attribution link, move this out the way. You take your Amazon attribution link and you paste it into one of those tools there. That way, every time someone purchases, it will be recorded under Amazon attribution, which is really, really good. But the problem is, let me do this over here. The problem is, we can't trust Amazon attribution when TikTok is involved. This listing over here had around about a 15% conversion rate, and we sent 30,000 clicks, 30,000 users from TikTok to the Amazon listing. Now, bear in mind, these are people that are already pre-sold because they saw the product on TikTok, they saw the video, they liked it, and then actually searched for it, clicked on it, on the link, it works. But the problem is, whenever attribution is involved with TikTok, it doesn't report anything. And you're telling me this listing had a 15% conversion rate and 30,000 clicks and not a single sale? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And I've seen this across the board for most brands. When attribution is involved with TikTok traffic, it doesn't record it right. And a while ago, I had a call with the Amazon tech team. I said, so guys, here's all my TikTok data, here's my Amazon data, but the two don't correlate. What's up with that? And immediately, as I said that, they said, Paul, that is confidential. We cannot discuss that. Goodbye. And the whole atmosphere of the call changed because we're asking the right questions. Why isn't attribution working when TikTok ads are run? And it's frustrating because a lot of brands are doing this, but they're not using deep links and they're not even aware that it's not working. It does work, but we just need to play around to see how it does work. And I recommend to every brand run a few campaigns and see when it does work and mirror that. I've had a few brands where it didn't work at all, and then we changed up a few things. It was different for every brand, but we changed up a few things, and they just absolutely crushed it. And they got their 15% referral bonus from that. And then over here, I'm going to show this over here, when one post actually went viral with 1.8 million posts, but it didn't help any sales because when we look at the deep link clicks, just going viral doesn't mean that you will get lots of link clicks. We got some, but again, these link clicks, no sales were reported. So that's one thing to bear in mind, is they can go viral, even with deep links, but might still mean the attribution doesn't report any sales. Because the main thing is, when you send traffic from TikTok to Amazon, there's three KPI you need to measure: sessions, sales, and conversion rate. Sessions is how many people view your product. Sales is obviously how many sales you make. Conversion rate is what's your average conversion rate, how many sales you make in accordance to how many people actually view your page. And what I do from every client, I record the session sales conversion rate before we run the ads and then after we run the ads. You can see over here, each and every single time, the main difference is this over here is basically just like the three different clients, and every single time we can see a huge impact to the sessions, page views, and total order items. It works. But if we just base this on attribution alone, would appear not to work. But when you look into the granular level and look at these details, it does absolutely work. So when you use TikTok Shop, make sure to network with as many affiliates as possible to get content. You can see over here, this over here, they have close to 1,000 pieces of content or clip that are in progress. What's nice is What I really like about this is we get 1,000 pieces of content, and each content costs basically one sample. Because you give affiliates a sample, they create content around that and go from there. But to maximize your results, when you talk to these affiliates, you send them your own brief, telling them how to create and what content has the best results. That's nice because then the affiliate knows how to style their content, how to make the content to get the best bang for their buck. And if they win, it's a bigger win for us because they get commission and we get the sale. So that's why for every single affiliate, we do work with as many with every affiliate, we do send them the brief to make sure they know what to do. And that is the best way to go forward to make sure we hit all the angles possible. Now, let's break it down. How much do these samples cost? Now, let's assume you're using TikTok Shop affiliate and maybe you use like an influencer service provider. And you want to do 100 samples, and each sample will cost $5. So we go the COGS is $5, and let's say if you use a service provider, they would charge you anywhere between $50 to $100 per video created. So the total cost for affiliates is $500 because you're sending out 100 samples at $5 each for COGS. But for service providers, if you hire influencers, the total cost will be between $25,000 to $50,000. And this is because influencers know how to look pretty, whereas affiliates know how to sell. I say that, I get a lot of flack for that, but it's true. Influencers don't care if your content converts. They just care for the upfront payments. But affiliates, they know how to create content that converts because one really good affiliate content might pay them for weeks to months to come. That's why affiliates are a better win than influencers because affiliates know how to sell. Influencers just create content and just there's no follow through afterwards. That's why I'm very bullish on creating as many affiliates as possible. So, what else can you use all this content? We all know Amazon posts. And we know Amazon post will bring in sales, not huge, but they will bring in sales. But the problem is most Amazon brands, agencies, and sellers don't use Amazon posts because who has the time to create content for those Amazon posts? So rather, all the posts, all the videos created on TikTok Shop, just download those. Just download those and use those in Amazon posts. So I use this tool over here, a TikTok download.online. What I like about it is you just put the link to the TikTok video and they'll all download it without a watermark and I can use it on my Amazon sponsored ads or Amazon posts. That works really, really well. And make sure to let affiliates know that you're going to use their content on Amazon. They might not be happy about that, but say to them, listen, we think you're great. So we want to work with you again. And that could be a great way to help them build your own affiliate army. Because if you have an affiliate army, it's your own cheat code to do well on Amazon and TikTok Shop. Because an affiliate army can buy your products on Amazon or TikTok and just create tons of content around that. So again, every brand should be building their own TikTok affiliate army. Whether they want to use it for TikTok or for Amazon, that's regardless. Just start building it right now because this is the age of affiliates. The more affiliates you talk to, the best success you have. If you look at the most successful brands on TikTok Shop, if you look at micro ingredients, I think about 2 months back, they were one of the top selling brands on TikTok Shop. What's crazy is I reverse engineered all their affiliates. And I think in 1 week, they did like 2,000 affiliate posts. And what's crazy is 1,700 posts didn't make more than $1. But the 300 posts did really well. And those 300 posts equated to a few million in sales. And that's what I say is that a lot of brands will say, oh, that was a waste. There were 1,700 videos that went nowhere. Yes, they went nowhere, but 300 performed really well. And that's what we need. So take those 300 And those will be the basis of your affiliate army, because by just creating a good relationship with them, you can have a lot more leeway and leverage on Amazon and TikTok Shop. So to start, first of all, to build your affiliate dream team, start on TikTok Shop. You have your own affiliate database inside TikTok Shop. And when you're there, then all you do is you just filter it. You'll see everyone that has, we look at everyone that has made sales because they have a proven track record of making sales in the niche you're in and average more than 1,000 videos, because they may not make any sales, but it's the brand awareness you really, really do want. So get them to have at least 1,000 videos per video, because that means the brand awareness is good. And then the post rate. Nothing annoys me more than an affiliate that takes your product and doesn't create content. So I only work with affiliates that have a really good post rate. So once they get a product, they will create a post on TikTok. So that's basically what I do. I set up all these things and I filter this. And with TikTok Shop, there are 170,000 registered affiliates on the platform. So just by doing this, by being fussy, you will get the best affiliates to go forward. Now, when you measure, when you contact these affiliates, you need to think about this, because first thing, these affiliates, they receive hundreds of messages per day, every day, from brands and sellers. So they view most messages as spam. So you want to stand out. First thing, stroke their ego, make them feel like $1,000,000. So we tell them that. And give them a roadmap to success, meaning that show them a brief and show them how much other affiliates earn by making that content. What they will do is they will just copy it frame by frame. That's great for me, because they copy frame by frame. Then you have a few variations of content that converts really, really well. And then when they create content and post it, ask them for their email and Spark code. Spark code so you can reuse their video in ads, and the email so you can reach out to them over and over again. Now, when you speak to them and get the email address, you need to cold email them. They know you can email them, and a lot of affiliates will say, "Yeah, email me," and they just never reply after you do email them, and that's part of the problem with affiliates. They want to run a business, but they're not doing everything they need to. So basically, when you cold email them, choose your weapon. I always use Instantly because it's the lead platform for cold emails, and I tell them absolutely everything. I tell them absolutely everything in email, so they know that we are the brand that reach out to them about those kitchen knives or vice versa, or so on and so forth. And they will then create content that converts really well around that. And we give them all the details in the upfront email. And going from there, if you contact, let's say, 500, if you have 500 affiliate posts, let's say maybe only 100 reply to email, that's 100 really good influencers and affiliates to talk to as a basis of your affiliate army. Okay, so phase one was you basically get them inside, you send a sample, you send a message, everything. Now, phase two is you want to build a long-term relationship with these affiliates. And that's where the cold email comes in place. The idea for the cold email is to get them back in and go from there. It really, really is good. Your goal here is that you want to take their relationship and really build into a long-term affiliate structure. So there are four types of emails I do. I say like I call it the "we're in this together" email. And we talk about how much we want to work with them. And we tell them we have a load more products across the category that they can that they can promote. And one thing I do as well is that I want affiliates to work on a retainer rate. So if this affiliate creates really good content, I will hire them to create content every month, every week for the brand. Other than that, I use the competitor takedown. Let's say you sell kitchen knives. I will then look at your competitors and look at their affiliates. All there is public knowledge. I'll look at their affiliates and say, great, these affiliates did this. Let's do that too. I'll poach all their affiliates. And sometimes I might say, which product is better, this or that? And it works really well going from there. The next one is the platform shuffle. Um, um, this is a bit, it's a bit of a, like grey hat. Well, actually, it's pretty black hat. If you ask them to do a rebate on Amazon, it's grey hat. But the thing is, I often say to them, we don't have any stock on TikTok shop. Could go buy on Amazon and then I will refund you. And then I will, but I will get the rebate in and I'll get them to buy it on Amazon through the search fund buy methods against the rules, but all up to you. If you own the list, you can do whatever you want. And again, the same thing applies with the 5-star review hustle. I want them to leave a 5-star review, whether it be on Amazon or on TikTok shop. It works out well. What's nice is, as it's all done over email, it's far easier to get results over email than other ways, because with email, you own the list. You can go from there. Okay, so I've spoken way too much, but any questions about this, please let me know. And my apologies, I'm talking way too fast because my nose is blocked. I'm a bit sick. I blame my kids. But any questions, please let me know.
Thanks, Paul. Actually, it was also full of insights.
Thank you.
Cool, guys. I guess that's my turn. Let me share my screen. Do you guys see the screen? Cool. So let me guys briefly introduce AccelClub and what we're doing. I'm with AccelClub already for 3 years, and we originally started as an FBA aggregator. We were acquiring brands on Amazon, and we still do that. But also, what we started doing late last year, we started bringing successful Amazon Europe, Amazon US brands to Europe. After we bought some of our brands, we actually figured out that only one of the brands we bought was in Europe. So we started moving all of our brands into Europe. And since that time, we moved over 2,000 SKUs from Amazon US into Europe. And now we come to successful sellers who have decent track record in Amazon and propose to be their distributor in European countries for them. So as you all know, Amazon Europe is quite a big opportunity, but it's also quite a hustle to enter European Amazon. Amazon Europe is roughly like 25 to 30% of Amazon US, which is kind of a great number. No other marketplace in the United States can offer you that. Compared like to Walmart or to Target, European Amazon seems like a much more fruitful opportunity. But the amount of effort you have to spend to enter European market is kind of a nightmare, and you don't want to face it in your life. So there are actually like two ways to enter Amazon. Obviously, there is a hard way where you can do DIY yourself, try to enter, like spend a year plus year. And there is an easy way where we can help you enter European Amazon. So you were speaking about hard way. First thing that it takes you to enter Amazon is just to learn the market, understand the competition, and then basically you're ready to go. But besides that, you obviously need to invest in inventory. And if you're a growing company, you have to deprioritize other streams of your growth, disrupt your cash flow. And that's that you would love to pass on that problem. So you'd love to focus on your primary market, grow there, but also it's kind of feels bad missing out opportunity in Europe. Also, you have to navigate compliance, figure out supply chain, and invest in marketing. Invest in marketing doesn't seem that fearful, but navigating compliance and VAT, it will take you more than a year just to register VATs in all the countries in Europe. So here's actually how we can help you. We can become your easy way for entering Europe. So what we do, we take a look at your storefront, see if there is a market fit for your products in Europe. And then we act as a kind of a typical distributor. We invest, basically we purchase on all inventory from you. There is no costs involved on your end, no upfront costs. We cover all costs. We do all certification if that's needed. That's also kind of a big problem with Europe because regulations are much stricter than in the US. Then we launch sales. It usually takes around 4 months to produce a product and ship it into Europe. We also fund shipping. We pay for it ourselves. We use our forwarders and ship it into Europe. And then we finally operate your listings in Europe. And then at the end of each month, we'll share profits with you. Also, we can do a wholesale model. That's like a subject for discussion. If you are interested, just reach out. We can discuss that, how it's better to work for you on a profit sharing basis or on a wholesale basis. Sometimes with Amazon, it just, Amazon is too competitive to sell your products at a very high margin, very high markup. So sometimes it just makes sense to enter with profit sharing model where we share profits, and it will be much more positive for your brand in the future to grow market share. So actually, like, what's stopping from expansion into these markets besides the points I've mentioned and what we can help you with? So if you do not have free cash to expand, obviously we purchase inventory and we invest into marketing. So we just eliminating cash concerns for you. You don't want to hire more people. We have a team of experts. We're responsible A to Z. From the compliance standpoint, we will do everything. We'll do research, we'll do certifications. From operational and PPC standpoint, it's exactly the same. We have exactly the same team managing our brands that will be managing your brands. I do not understand the market. That's also a big concern because European market is pretty difficult. I mean, in US, shopping is king. In Europe, people do not behave that way. They're more careful about how they spend their money. And we saw multiple products that didn't go through European market, even though they were successful in US. Sorry, guys. So we launched over 3,000 SKUs in Europe and would be happy to share our expertise in that sense. And if you have our priorities, that's also fine. Even we do focus only on our main markets, which are Amazon US and Amazon Europe. We don't take other marketplaces. So if you want to focus on Amazon US and build your market share there, we'll be just your partner in the meantime that can build European presence for you while you're growing US market. That's completely fine. And when you're ready, we'll be just able to transfer that market share that we built, these organic positions that we built back to you, and you'll start selling on your own. So let's take a look. Actually, we just randomly came across that brand since we actually do well in supplements category, and we know that vitamin D category in particular. We came across a brand called Bronson. You can see that they're top 3 seller in vitamin D, doing around 800,000 monthly for this exact product. This is K2 plus D3 vitamin. So they're doing pretty good in VS. Guys above them sell more, but definitely there is a room for growth in VS for Bronson. That's where they want to concentrate. They're not in Europe, but here I want to show you what they're missing. So this is a screenshot from United Kingdom vitamin D3 niche. So you can see it's much smaller, like this top 4 guys makes almost the same money as Bronson. But the amount of reviews that Bronson has, they have 31,000 reviews. That's a big number for European market. You can see that only 1 guy is above them in terms of the ratings and reviews. And that's actually one of the crucial points when you enter in Europe. You can transfer your ratings and reviews, and that helps a lot to launch a product. It's very different compared to launching a new product because you already, when you enter another marketplace with a successful product, you already have good ratings, you already have proof that you have market fit. So we can assume that they're kind of price competitive. Their price is like $14. Here in UK, they sell around $12. So that's not a problem, like $1, $2. You can work through that. Maybe you can land at 5th, 6th position with that price, but it's still a decent money. And in the UK solely, they can make plus 100K a month, which is kind of like 12% for them, which is a good amount. And that's what they're missing out. In Germany, the situation is a bit more crazier. You can see the first spot makes even more than Bronson in the US. So this is a much better market. And top 4 guys make around just a little bit more than 2 million euro in revenues. So here it's exactly the same. Bronson has the most amount of reviews on the market. Even the first place doesn't have the same amount of reviews that Bronson has. And the price is more than a competitive price. Bronson has $14 in the United States, and vitamin D3 here has 24 euro price. Obviously, that's a rough estimation. We need to dive deeper into the product. But here is just the general assumption, what are these guys are missing out. So they can easily add 250K in monthly revenue from European Amazon. And yes, that's a nightmare to deep dive in supplement regulations in Europe. But that's what we take on us. We'll take all of this process on us. We'll figure out what exactly do you need to start selling in Europe, and we'll kickstart your sales in Europe with exactly no cost for you and no risk for you. So they can easily add 30% of their current US revenues if they were selling in Europe. So guys, if you want to start selling in Europe, feel free to reach out. We can do market research for you, get back to you with a sample order that we can make. And from there, we'll be making an order, like a real order, in a few months and starting sales in Europe in just 4 months. Thank you guys for listening. Let me stop the presentation. Did you guys see my screen?
We see you now. We don't see your presentation.
Okay. And was I sharing my presentation?
Yes, you are. You are.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Chelsea, I believe it's your turn.
Yes. Let me go ahead and share my presentation. Hey, everybody. All right. So I'm going to talk about margins. I'm going to talk about profitability. I know that the fees have come out for 2025, at least some of them. We're still waiting on the storage fees. But what I want to talk about is, while a lot of competitors are going to take that and they're going to rest on their laurels, they're not going to really work as hard on the profit side of their business. Taking this opportunity, while Amazon has essentially a fee freeze, take the opportunity to increase your profit margin. It's something that top sellers focus on all the time. I've worked with a good deal of high 7-figure, 8-figure, and even 9-figure sellers. So I'm going to share a couple of metrics that you can use to start looking at your business from the view of how to reclaim margins. First, a little bit about me. I started selling on Amazon in 2014. And in 2019, I launched a company called SoStocked, which is an inventory management software for Amazon sellers. And then in 2022, it was acquired by Carbon6, which you may have heard of. It's a software suite that pulls together a bunch of different tools for Amazon sellers. So I've been working in inventory for over 7 years, working with 7- and 8-figure sellers, and now a few 9-figure sellers as well. So with that background, I want to talk first and foremost about storage fees. Inventory is the biggest driver of cost in your business, right? You pay the most amount of money, and the inventory mistakes that are made are the most expensive mistakes that you'll make. Whether you're running out of stock and you have revenue problems, you have low inventory issues going into a stock out, and then storage fees is a big one. It's something that I refer to as a silent profit killer, because it can sneak up on you and all of a sudden you're getting hit with a ton of fees that you didn't expect, either in the fourth quarter when the fees go up, or because your inventory has been sitting too long and you're paying aged inventory fees. So it's something that I refer to as the ticking time bomb. About a year ago, a ton of sellers were blown out in November when they got their storage fee bills. Some people were being charged $25,000 that they didn't expect. So that is something that I've been working on helping sellers to get out in front of. Here's an example. So in that particular example, you see $30,000. Let's say this is October. All of a sudden, October comes around, you get charged a bunch of fees, and then your fees increase because of Q4, also because, like I mentioned, aged inventory. So we want to know at this point, an earlier point when we still have time to react, we want to know about the fees that are going to hit before they happen. In order to do this, we need to have specific data. And that's something that in SoStocked, we have systems to project or to forecast these storage fees and these aged inventory fees. Right now, I'm going to share some things that you can do on your own to start to figure some of this stuff out, to be able to see which ASINs are going to cause you problems and which ones you need to focus on selling through so that you don't get hit with a bunch of fees. My favorite report, and I've been teased for having a favorite report in Amazon and FBA, but my favorite report is the FBA inventory report. This has a ton of information. It has information on products that are maybe incurring low inventory fees or products that are maybe getting close to that. And it has also aged inventory projections. It only has projections for the upcoming month, but it is fairly helpful in knowing which of those ASINs you might be having problems with. So when you download this report, and here's the path to where to find that report in the report section under fulfillment and inventory. What you want to do is you want to download this, and then you want to scroll toward the right. Significantly, it's toward the end, and you're going to find something that's a quantity to be charged in number of days. And you want to look at the ASIN and then how many units are in some of those higher realms of age. For example, this product right here, 144 units, is incurring fees. It's over a year in age. So it's incurring $6.90 per cubic foot. Every age inventory fee is done by cubic foot. So that information is also inside of this report. You're able to take your the number of units aged, right here, 144, times the cubic feet, times the fee rate for that period of time. And here is how that breaks down. The area that you want to focus on is items aged over 270 days. Because as you can see here, there's a huge jump up in fees from aged inventory going 50 cents per cubic foot, $1, $1.50, to all of a sudden at this point, jumping to $5.45 per cubic foot. So if your inventory has been sitting there for essentially 9 months, you're going to start incurring fees at a rapid pace. That's where we get into that huge spike that we saw. Being able to know 3 months, 4 months in advance that is coming is important, in that you can avoid thousands or sometimes tens of thousands of dollars in fees. And we have worked with companies, even 9-figure sellers, who have not been aware that these fees are going to hit them. And we've been able to mitigate some of those losses by letting them know and by them putting in programs to quickly sell through that inventory with discounts or with increased ad spend. So here's an example. We're looking at this particular example before we hit that 9-month mark, and that amount of inventory is going to cost me under $50. And the next month it leaps up to $170 for that same amount of inventory. That's where we get, you're jumping off the cliff, right? So using this data, it's important to go through. I would say go through it on a monthly basis and work with your marketing team to come up with a plan. How can you sell through this inventory before you hit that cliff? Here is a case study. This is a 9-figure seller that we worked with, and an 8-figure seller. And in the first 2 months, we were able to identify over 300 ASINs that were incurring or about to incur hefty fees. And we look at what are the fees that are going to be incurred over the next 3 months, and we're able to avoid $38,000 in fees over this first 2-month period of time. So it's extremely important to be able to calculate these as it eats away at your profit margins. And then I know we're running short on time, so I'm gonna go a little faster. I've got a bunch of case studies. Size is the most important, one of the most important things to focus on when it comes to fees, because size affects your fulfillment fees and it affects all of your storage fees. So any type of storage fee that you have and any type of fulfillment fee that you have can be reduced if you're able to reduce your product size. And some of the products are not able to do that, but it's important to look at, is it possible for any of your products to be resized? Here is a case study. This is a friend of mine, Travis Ziegler, and he had a product which was a sunglasses product, and he was putting it in a hard case, and then he switched to putting it into a soft case and was able to save $70,000 a year in reduced storage fees, reduced fulfillment fees, and he was also able to put more units per carton. So he was able to save shipping fees and basically all across the board, just that one shift, again, saved him $70,000. We do a profit audit, so we're able to scan an entire catalog and tell you if there are opportunities to get into a lower fee tier and to be able to save, get you into that savings across your catalog. So this was a product catalog that we ran, $29 or 29 cents in savings per unit, ended up being almost $140,000 in annual savings. And then we have another example of resizing. This is a product that was a jewelry product. It was packaged in this way, and then they were able to significantly reduce the packaging for a $50,000 annual savings within this brand. And then the last piece I want to talk to you about is related. It's not exactly resizing, but it is related, right? This product may or may not have been resized, but they applied for something called ships in product packaging. So first and foremost, if they were able to reduce the size of their product, then they were able to reduce their fulfillment fees and their storage fees. But this program that Amazon has, ships in product packaging, can often be overlooked. And what that is that you have this product, and instead of Amazon putting it in a box and shipping it, all they have to do is put a label on it, and then it ships out on its own. So because Amazon is not spending the time, they're not spending the resources of their boxes and their packaging, and they're also not spending that additional labor to put it in the box, they will give you a discount on your fulfillment fees. So there will be the ships in product packaging. You have to apply to this. There's certain guidelines. You can search on Amazon Seller Central to find out about this program and what those guidelines are. But for this particular product, it's over 5 pounds. The savings per unit is 23 cents per unit, and across 4 variations, that ends up being over $660 or $6,600 per year across this particular parent ASIN in savings just by applying for this program. It's definitely something to look into, not to be overlooked. People don't, I think, talk about it enough, but something to look at, especially if you're looking at resizing your product and reconfiguring it. Is it possible? Do keep in mind, if you have a product that is a big gift, right? There have been stories of people, their Christmas surprises being ruined by their products being in ships in own packaging. So something to keep in mind, but oftentimes there is an opportunity across the catalog to consider ships in product packaging. Lastly, I'm going to give you a little bit of my contact information. So if you go to SoStocked.com/connect, I've got free profits tools. You're able to find my socials there. And then we give away a free profit audit, so we can scan your catalog and find out if there are resizing opportunities. look at your exposures in terms of stockouts, and then also look at what potential aged inventory and storage fees you might have coming in the next 8 months. For that free profit audit, you can scan the QR code. And again, it gives you, we look for FBA fee reduction, stock out losses, and then overstock risks within your account. That's it for me. Hopefully this was valuable, and I'll pass it back over.
Thank you, Chelsea. Cory, I believe it's your turn.
Yeah, no deck for me today, but good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Cory Chin, and I'm currently the Director of Sales and Business Intelligence at Canopy Management. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to work with a variety of brands across many categories, such as health and household, beauty and personal care, baby, pets, clothing, jewelry, and even toys and games, helping them scale and drive success on Amazon and other e-commerce platforms. I've led a team and directly managed campaigns for some of the largest brands out there. Previously, I was responsible for shaping the e-commerce trajectory for Philips North America, where I worked with many of their major brands like Sonicare, Norelco, Avent. During my time at Philips, I oversaw both their Amazon and Walmart channels, driving significant sales across both platforms. And I'm proud to say that my team and I have directed over $1 billion in yearly sales, with responsibility for managing over 50 million in yearly ad spend. Throughout this journey, I've had the privilege of overseeing high-profile ad campaigns with stars like Ryan Reynolds, Jennifer Lopez, Kendall Jenner, as well as partnerships with Amazon's Prime Video series, The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I have the chance to speak with you all. Over the years, I've seen many brands face significant challenges on Amazon, and today I want to share some of those insights with you. I hope to give you some practical takeaways that you can apply to your own brand to overcome these challenges, drive more revenue, increase profitability, and capture market share within your categories. From the many accounts I've had the pleasure of managing and the hundreds of accounts I've consulted for and audited, one of the most common and significant challenges I see is poor campaign structure. This is often the root cause of wasted ad spend, poor performance, and missed opportunities. Many brands fall into the trap of grouping too many initiatives into a single campaign, whether that be products, keywords, match types, or audiences. This can lead to inefficient management and inability to control underperforming products. Without the ability to isolate winners and losers, this can result in not having the proper levers in place to pull at the right time for your brand. Whether it's during seasonality, slower peak seasons, or for tentpole events like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. In my experience, having the right campaign structure with proper segmentation is one of the most crucial factors in building a solid foundation for your brand to scale to the next level. Brands lacking structure often struggle to optimize their bids, budgets, and their targets effectively. As a result, this leads to suboptimal budget distribution, high A costs, loss of visibility, and highly search relevant keywords, underperformance for specific products, and failure to increase organic rank. Some of the best practices I've found when creating campaigns on Amazon are to segment them into smaller, more targeted groups with clear objectives. To start, it's important to define whether the campaign will be focused on branded or non-branded keywords. From there, I typically approach the structure by match type. Will this be an exact match campaign using long-tail keywords specifically designed to target consumers at the bottom of the funnel that we're aiming to convert? Or is this a broad match strategy intended to capture consumers further up the funnel who are still exploring options within the category? It's essential not to mix match types, as broad, phrase, and exact match keywords are different targeting strategies. Each engages consumers at different points of their shopping journey and comes with varying levels of cost and reach. Using these strategically allow us to meet shoppers at various stages of their decision-making process while maintaining budget efficiently. One of the match types and objectives are clear. It's important to refine the focus even further. I recommend limiting the number of keywords per campaign to no more than 30. This allows you to focus on the most impactful relevant terms without spreading your budget too thin, and ensures top performing keywords receive the focus they need to drive results efficiently and effectively. I also recommend creating single keyword campaigns for the highest searched, most relevant keywords that are typically responsible for the majority of sales, which helps focus your budget on more impactful targets that have the opportunity to scale without hitting a search volume plateau. While target segmentation is crucial for campaign success, equally important is how you structure product groupings within these campaigns. Segmenting all parent ASINs and grouping only their variations ensure that each product is accurately represented without budget dilution, allowing for more precise optimization and performance tracking. When combining with comprehensive budget review process, you can ensure that high-performing keywords receive the sufficient budget allocation necessary to drive impressions and profitable sales. What I often see in many accounts is that keywords with the potential to significantly increase impression share, drive sales, or improve organic rank get commingled within campaigns where other targets are stealing their ability to perform. By isolating these high potential targets, you allow them to thrive without competing for budget. Now, the second challenge I frequently see is a narrow focus on the conversion stage of the consumer journey. While conversions are crucial, focusing only on the lower funnel without addressing upper and mid-funnel strategies often lead to stagnation. Many brands, especially those aiming to grow into the 8 and 9-figure revenue ranges, struggle because they fail to capture and nurture brand awareness and consideration. As a result, they miss opportunities to stay top of mind of consumers, especially when they are in the market for your product. And as a result, consumers may search for generic terms relevant to your category, but may not necessarily search for your brand, leading to lower traffic and lower conversion rates. If consumers don't know about your brand when they start shopping, even the most optimized listings won't drive as high of a conversion as a branded search. And ultimately, your advertising performance will suffer. And the key to scaling is building a full funnel approach. This really means addressing all stages of the consumer journey, from awareness to consideration to conversion. By layering ad types like sponsored display, sponsored brand video ads, and retargeting strategies, you can reach new consumers earlier in their consumer journey and ensure your brand stays top of mind. At the same time, you should implement a strong remarketing strategy to capture those consumers who are already familiar with your brand. Retargeting strategies can be highly effective, especially since, according to Baymard Institute, nearly 90% of shoppers who add products to their cart fail to complete their purchase. Leveraging sponsored display ads with your audience retargeting helps re-engage these high-intent shoppers, ensuring your products stay visible as they continue browsing. Additionally, category retargeting allows you to target consumers who have recently interacted with competing products, giving your brand a chance to win over consumers actively shopping within your niche. By creating dynamic ads with tailored messaging or special offers, you can entice these consumers to return and finalize their purchase. The brands that truly thrive on Amazon are the ones who not only invest in building awareness and consideration, but strategically separating these efforts from the conversion stage. They understand that success doesn't always come from chasing the instant return. Instead, they focus on understanding on the long-term game. By nurturing consumers at multiple points of the sales funnel while optimizing for conversions, these brands set themselves up for sustained growth and are able to achieve much higher return on advertising spend over time. The third challenge I'd like to address is one that's often overlooked: the importance of engaging creatives and conversion-focused copy. It's not just about driving traffic to your listings. It's about making sure your consumers get the information they need quickly, efficiently, especially when they're new to your category or product. For many brands, product pages and ad creatives aren't optimized to provide clear and compelling answers to the questions consumers have when they're considering for a purchase. If consumers can't quickly understand how your product works, why it offers better value than the competition, or why they should trust it, they'll move on to another product. What makes this especially crucial is that due to how easy it is to access information nowadays, many consumers have shorter attention spans and expect quick access to relevant details. If your visuals, your bullet points, or A+ content doesn't immediately convey what your product or why your product is the best choice, you risk losing their interest in seconds. For example, my wife and I recently shopping for a bassinet for our baby. We visited several listings that highlighted great features like being soft, washable, breathable, but a large portion of them did not show the specific height dimensions to the mattress, for example. They only provided the total height, so we were unsure if the bassinet would sit flush next to our bed. As a result, we quickly became frustrated and moved on to other product listings that provided the information we needed to feel confident it would be the right choice that we're making. This is particularly important in competitive categories where multiple listings offer similar products. Standing out becomes not only just helpful, but necessary to convert consumers. When listings aren't properly optimized, you risk lower conversion rates and rising costs to achieve the same outcome. I often see missed opportunities in listings, storefront, and ad creatives without clear, persuasive messaging and visually compelling content. Consumers may hesitate to make the purchase, or worse, not even convert at all. Put yourself in the shoes of a consumer seeking your product for the first time. Remember, simplicity is often the best approach. As an expert in your field, it's easy to forget that consumers lack that same knowledge. So ensure the essential information is clear and easy to understand. Consider using images and infographics to help show the end result of using the product. Highlight key features with large, easy to read text, and ensure your A+ content tells a compelling brand story that builds trust and educates the consumer. A/B testing your SEO, your images, and the video content can also help determine what resonates best with your target audience. The goal is to engage the consumer, showing them that your product will solve their problem effectively in under 30 seconds. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want to leave you with this key takeaway. Success on Amazon doesn't happen overnight, but by focusing on these critical areas, you can drive meaningful results, increase profitability, and build a strong, long-lasting presence within the platform. If anyone has additional questions or is struggling to grow their brand on Amazon, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or reach out to me directly at Cory@canopymanagement.com. I'd be more than happy to have a quick chat or point you in the right direction. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to seeing the incredible success your brands will achieve. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Cory. Thank you for your speech. Jay, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Today, I'm going to focus on a very simple message. We're focusing on the buy box and why it's important. And it's kind of obvious, but our focus today is really on operational excellence when you're running your Amazon store. And it's very easy to be just great in everything when it comes to ad spend, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to everything. But especially at times of year such as this, when the seasonality is very positive, you're really humming along, things can go wrong. And how quickly can you address those things that go wrong? So some of the obvious things that we all are familiar with about buy box eligibility, professional seller account, you have to have inventory available, you need to have low order defect rates, you want to have great feedback. If you're a brand owner, you need to have excellent reviews. You need to have a history of selling on Amazon, and obviously you need to have either FBA or a very positive shipping experience that you've provided to your customers over time. So those are things which are involved in getting the buy box. Products need to stay in stock. You need strong account health, competitive pricing, and so forth. We all know that. But there's also, and what we really want to emphasize today is there are a lot of things that can go wrong, even though you've done everything right to get buy box eligibility, things that are sometimes outside of your immediate control can create problems. And those are the things that I'm going to focus on today. You can have a listing that gets hijacked. You can have data on your account that is messed up. You can have buy box suppressed. Sometimes for things that are totally beyond your control because Amazon spots a price outside of Amazon that is causing it to be suppressed. Sometimes you can have your listing suppressed also because the data has been flagged by an Amazon AI bot, and so you can have all of a sudden something is flagged on your bullet points, on your title, and you can lose your surfacing on the search engine results that Amazon displays. And so this, I'm focusing on this right now. So basically, bullet points can change, brand names can change, you can get flags, you can have a search, you can have a title change. All of these can suppress your surfaceability on Amazon. And then other things can change, such as you can be search suppressed. Other than search suppressed, your buy box can also be suppressed, as we discussed. For sometimes things that are picked up by Amazon, which you have no control over. For some reason, they have found a price, and then if you are priced above that price, you will still own the listing, but your buy box will be suppressed. And so one of the things that we offer to our users is, first of all, we offer alerts. And so we're looking at a broad range of issues that can go wrong with your listings, and that can all of a sudden influence the velocity of your sales on Amazon. And so we alert you to all kinds of issues which may suppress your buy box. A whole range of issues. You can choose which SKUs you want to be alerted to, and you can also choose how often you get alerted, depending on your particular circumstances. And no matter what you're doing on Amazon, it's really important to keep abreast of that, particularly during high velocity sales periods, and having your operation set up to be able to address those issues when they occur. And then the last thing I would say that is very important, and what we do offer to our customers, is very intensive buy box analytics. So over a period of time, you can see if you're losing the buy box for any reason, and you can go back in time and observe what is happening over a period of time, and you can dig in on that data and use it to upgrade your operations to improve your overall buy box percentage. And you can also identify if there are individuals that are competing against you and popping up, and what the reasons are for that they may be getting the buy box over you. So that's really what I have to share today. It's the importance of operational analytics, which is sometimes the boring things of keeping a handle on what's going on your account. But it can have a huge effect on your bottom line success, especially during high volume sales periods. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay. Okay, guys, and we have several questions from our audience. There were several questions to Paul, but he left. So let's start with Chelsea. Chelsea, there are two questions for you. First one is, how can I better forecast my inventory to prevent stockouts and overstocking?
Yeah. So first and foremost, you need to know your velocity. Here's assuming that you don't have a seasonal product. If you have a seasonal product, you should be looking at last year's sales and then analyzing your trend along with your understanding of how the market has shifted, right? But in terms of looking at your sales, rather than looking at just the raw data that Amazon gives, you want to be able to validate that data. So one of the things that we do, and we do this inside of SoStocked, and we recommend it for everyone to do, is to factor stockouts and sales spikes. So if you're looking at a 60-day average, for example, and you're saying, based on the last 60 days of sales, I want to be able to project that I'll perform the same. You need to account for if you had, let's say, Prime Day in the middle of that, or if you had a stock out for, let's say, 5 days within that 60 days. Those things need to be offset to adjust that velocity. We actually call it adjusted velocity. And then once you've established that, you want to do something called min-max restocking, which is basically to set bumpers. For example, I never want to go below 35 days, but I never want to go above 60 days. And then do your forecasting based on topping up to the, let's say, 90 days, selling through to 35 days, and then re-topping up to 90 days, and essentially staying within that zone. It creates a better flow and a better rule for your inventory.
Cool. And the second one, what metrics should I focus on to better understand my profit margins and optimize my revenue streams?
Sure. So the important things to focus on are the 3 variables that you generally have in your business. First is landed cost, and that is a combination of your cost per unit that you're paying your supplier or your distributor, and your shipping cost. Shipping cost is the variable. It changes over time. So you want to keep an eye on that and make sure that that's not fluctuating too much, or if it is, to factor that into your profit margin. So if it changes significantly, you know whether that product is still profitable or not. The next one is ad spend, and that should be factored in. And then, of course, the one that's overlooked very often, which is the fluctuation in storage fees. Factoring storage fees into your profitability is important, in that maybe when it lands and when you sell it over the next 2 months, maybe it's profitable. But if you keep it for 6 months, it might not be profitable anymore. So those are the 3 things that could get out of control in terms of costs. And then the other thing you want to do is focus on how quickly you're replenishing that inventory. If you can pay your supplier, let's say, every 60 days versus every 30 days or every 90 days, you're able to turn that inventory over more quickly, and that will help you to optimize that revenue stream to actually scale better.
Cool. Cory, there are also some questions to you. The first one is, what are some key indicators that a brand's campaign structure is underperforming?
Yeah, so some key indicators of poor performing campaigns include high ACoS or low impression share for performing terms. For example, campaigns that lump too many products, keywords, match types together often suffer from uneven budget distribution on highly relevant terms. And a simple way to identify keywords that have more potential is really to download the impression share report and sort by ACoS. That is a very simple way to really identify where there is more opportunities there.
Cool. And the next one, what are the most common mistakes you see in a product page copy and creatives on Amazon?
Yeah, so the most common mistakes I see with copy or the creatives is, one, not having infographic, not tailoring your copy around indexing and ranking or promoting organic rank, but then also not clearly explaining the benefits versus the competition. A lot of time I see generalized copy, but we need to be very quick to get the point across, what the benefits are, and why it's a better choice from the competition.
Thank you, Cory.
Absolutely.
Jay, one guest asks, why did I lose the buy box? Kind of an open question.
And I have to apologize because I had some slides, but they did not display. So my apologies to the audience. But you know, the why is really important, and we have analytics that can help explain to you why. But sometimes if it's a competitor, well, it's obvious to some extent. It could be any number of reasons, but there's a buy box sharing, and you can see what's happening with pricing and see that you've lost the buy box. But sometimes it's the more subtle reasons. You could be buy box suppressed, as we said, because you've got a price, a target price that Amazon has set. You don't necessarily know what that is, and it can change over time. They've observed a price external to the Amazon marketplace, and all of a sudden you're suppressed. It's still your listing, but you're not showing up in the buy box, and your sales will tank because of that. That happens very commonly. And so those are two key reasons. And also, you know, Amazon is using new AI technologies, obviously, to monitor listing health. And for reasons that aren't always clear, you'll get warnings, but sometimes you won't pay attention to them. And then all of a sudden, your listing will be suppressed from search results. And sometimes you'll have the buy box, but it won't do you any good because you're suppressed from search results. And those are the kinds of things which a good alerting system can let you know about them very rapidly, so that you can address them when they happen.
Great. And the next question, what can I do to get more of a buy box?
Yeah, so key factors there are, you know, price is a huge factor, but also all of the other good things that you need to do to maintain good Amazon health. Feedback is very important. And then of course reviews are also important as well. But if you're competing against other individuals for the buy box, price is by far the number one factor, using a good repricing tool. And then also maintaining very good feedback.
Thank you, Jay. And the last question goes to me. What kind of brands do you work with? So we work with brands that are already present in Amazon US, and usually they make over $1 million in sales annually. So, but you can message me anyways, and we'll see what we can do for you. Thank you, guys. I believe that's the end of our webinar. It was amazing. Hope to see you again. Bye, guys.